Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Pavandeep Kaur. I'm working as an assistant professor of law at Khalsa College of Law, Amritsar. Today, I'm going to discuss about one aspect of constitutional law, and that aspect is basic structure of Indian Constitution. So, what is basic structure? What does it mean? Basic structure means something which is beyond the amending powers of the Parliament of India. Basic structure means in Indian Constitution there are few concepts and ideas which cannot be changed by Parliament of India. This doctrine helps to preserve the nature of Indian democracy, and it helps to protect the rights and liberties of the people of India. This doctrine helps to protect the original spirit of Indian Constitution. So, doctrine of basic structure means Parliament of India can amend any part of Indian Constitution, but they cannot change basic structure, they cannot change original spirit of the Indian Constitution even by constitutional amendment. So from where we got this doctrine? This doctrine has been evolved over times. In today's session, I will discuss about this evolution with help of few landmark judgments, constitutional amendments, and two very important articles of Indian Constitution. I will start with two articles. First is Article 13 and second is Article 368 of Indian Constitution. Article 13 serves as protector of fundamental rights. Fundamental rights? What are fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are guaranteed rights by the state, and this is the duty, obligation of the state to protect fundamental rights. How Article 13 serves as protector of fundamental rights? Because under Article 13, subclause 2, it is very clearly written that state shall not make any law by which our fundamental rights are being violated, or if any law has been made or enacted by the state, that law shall be declared as null and void by Supreme Court of India. On the other side, we have Article 368. Article 368 holds the power of Parliament to amend Constitution. On one side, I am saying fundamental rights cannot be violated by state. That is, protection is given under Article 13 of Indian Constitution. On the other side, Article 368 gives a power to Parliament of India to amend any part of the Constitution. So question is, who is supreme? Either Article 13 or Article 368. Who is supreme? Supreme Court of India or Parliament of India? So basically this is a tussle of power. Tussle of power between judiciary and Parliament of India. To know this tussle of power, I will discuss two very important questions, and first question is, can fundamental rights be amended? Second one is, what is the limit of power of Parliament of India to amend Constitution of India? Whether this power is absolute or not? I will answer these questions with help of important judgments and constitutional amendments. So this tussle of power has been started in the year of 1951. In the year of 1951, first constitutional amendment has been introduced. By that amendment, Article 31A, Article 31B and 9th schedule of the Indian Constitution have been added. By First Amendment, right to property was curtailed. Right to property was violated by Government of India. And at that time, right to property was a fundamental right. And as I told you, there is a protection under Article 13 that state shall not make any law by which our fundamental rights are affected or by which our fundamental rights are being violated. Now, this was the question whether fundamental rights can be amended or not. Same question was decided by the Apex Court of India in case of Shankri Prasad versus Union of India. In this case, Honorable Court held that first constitutional amendment is a valid amendment by saying that there is a difference between ordinary lawmaking power and one constitutional amendment. And under Article 13, protection is against ordinary lawmaking power. And Article 13 is not applicable to constitutional amendment. So by saying this, Supreme Court of India upheld the validity of Constitutional First Amendment Act. Then in the year of 1964, 17th Constitutional Amendment has been introduced. By this amendment, number of land reforms laws have been kept in 9th schedule of Indian Constitution. Once again, right to property was violated. Same amendment was challenged before Honorable Court in case of Sajjan Singh versus State of Rajasthan. And in this case, Supreme Court of India reconfirmed its decision which was given in case of Shankri Prasad versus Union of India. And Supreme Court of India also stated that Parliament of India has a power to amend any part of the Constitution, including fundamental rights, that is part 3rd of the Constitution as well. Then after this judgment, one more case came into the picture, and that case is Golaknath versus State of Punjab. In this case, 17th Constitutional Amendment again challenged before Supreme Court of India. And in this case, Honorable Court took a different approach. And Honorable Court ruled that fundamental rights cannot be amended at any cost. Why they ruled it so? Because Supreme Court stated that under Article 368, procedure to amend Constitution is there. There is no absolute power given to the Parliament of India. If only procedure is mentioned, that means Parliament of India can amend any part of the Constitution, but that does not mean that they can amend fundamental rights as well. Because in Indian Constitution, we have Article 13, which serves as a protector of fundamental rights, and it is very clearly written under subclause 2 of Article 13 that states shall not make any law which is going to be violated any of the fundamental right. Then to overcome the difficulties which were created by this decision, in decision of Golaknath's case, Supreme Court of India ruled that fundamental rights cannot be amended. To remove all these difficulties, Parliament of India introduced 24th Constitutional Amendment. By this amendment, Clause 3, Clause 4 to Article 13, Clause 3 to Article 368 and – 1 – 2 – 3 – 4 – 5 – 6 – 7 – 8 – 9 – 10 – 11 – 12 – 13 – 14 – 15 – 16 – 17 – 18 – 19 – 20 – 21 – 22 – 23 – 24 – 25 – 26 – 27 – 28 – 29 – 30 – 31 – 32 – 33 – 34 – 35 – 36 – 37 – 38 – 39 – 40 – 41 – 42 – 43 – 44 – 45 – 46 – 47 – 48 – 49 – 50 – 51 – 52 – 53 – 54 – 55 – 56 – 57 – 58 – 59 – 60 – 61 – 62 – 63 – 64 – 65 – 66 – 67 – 68 – 69 – 70 – 71 – 72 – 73 – 74 – 75 – 76 – 77 – 78 – 79 – 80 – 81 – 82 – 83 – 84 – 85 – 86 – 87 – 88 – 89 – 90 – 91 – 92 – 93 – 94 – 95 – 96 Clause 4 of Article 13 and Clause 3 of Article 368, according to these clauses, it was made very clearly that Article 13 shall not be applicable to a constitutional amendment. And under Article 368, heading was changed. Before 24th Amendment, heading of Article 368 was Procedure to Amend Constitution. After 24th Amendment, heading of 368 is Power of Parliament to amend Constitution and procedure thereof. So, by 24th Amendment, absolute power to amend Constitution was restored by Parliament of India. By this amendment, it was made very clear that Parliament of India has an absolute power to amend any part of the Constitution, including fundamental rights as well. Fortunately, we are living in a democratic country. We have a separate judicial system. Same amendment was challenged before Supreme Court of India in case of Keshwananda Bharti versus State of Kerala. So this is the landmark judgment from where we got doctrine of basic structure. In this case, first of all, Supreme Court of India upheld the constitutional validity of 24th Amendment. But Supreme Court of India stated that Parliament of India has a power to amend any part of the Constitution, but that power is not an absolute power. If I'm saying that power is not an absolute power, that means there is a restriction. And what is that restriction? That restriction is known as a basic structure. Supreme Court of India in this case ruled that Parliament of India can amend any provision of the Constitution, including fundamental rights, but they cannot change basic structure of Indian Constitution. They cannot change original spirit of Indian Constitution. They can amend any part, but they cannot rewrite it. So in this case, no exhaustive list was given about basic structure. But one idea has been derived that Parliament of India has a power to amend Constitution, but that power is not an absolute power. And limited power to amend Constitution is itself a part and parcel of a doctrine of basic structure. So this is the landmark case from where we got doctrine of basic structure. So after that, Parliament of India introduced 39th Constitutional Amendment. By that Constitutional Amendment, one effort was made by Parliament of India. And what was that effort? That election of President, election of Prime Minister of India and election of Speaker of Lok Sabha cannot be challenged before the judiciary. Same amendment was challenged before Supreme Court of India in case of Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Raj Narayan. In this case, Supreme Court of India ruled that free and fair election is a part and parcel of basic structure, and 39th Amendment is violating this basic structure, and they struck down 39th Amendment. Again, Parliament of India, they introduced 42nd Constitutional Amendment. 42nd Constitutional Amendment is also known as a mini Constitution of India. But one aspect which is related with Article 368, that is, by 42nd Amendment, Clause 4 and Clause 5 to Article 368 was added. What was the effect of that amendment? By that amendment, it was very clearly written in Indian Constitution that constitutional amendments cannot be challenged before judiciary. Constitutional amendments are not subject matter of judicial review. But again, this amendment was challenged before Supreme Court of India in case of Minerva Mills versus Union of India, and in that case, Supreme Court of India uphold the doctrine of basic structure, and Supreme Court of India ruled that judicial review is also a very important aspect of basic structure, and by adding of these two clauses, that is clause 4 and 5 of article 368, basic structure has been violated. So in this case, clause 4 and clause 5 of article 368 was struck down by Supreme Court of India. To conclude this topic, I would like to say that Parliament of India can amend any part of the Constitution, including fundamental rights, but they cannot change basic structure of Indian Constitution. Basic structure is original spirit of the Indian Constitution. And one question, that who is supreme? Supreme Court of India or Parliament of India? Answer to this question is neither Supreme Court nor Parliament. Constitution of India is a supreme, and basic structure is a part and parcel of this grand norm of our country. Thank you.